Hi guys, welcome to another book review. Gonna be talking about the Shelters of Stone today. Yeah, this book is by the lovely Miss Jean M. Auel. Sorry, wanted to shut my window there. So yeah, this is by the lovely Jean M. Auel. It was published April 30th, 2002, and it's a good one. It pretty much establishes what's going to be going on for this book and the last book. It kind of sets up a lot of stuff for them. So yeah, let's get to it. So our two main characters are Isla and Jonadlar. They have been on a journey. They traveled pretty much across the continent, across the European continent, and they are now meeting Jonadlar's family. I have my notes over here, that's why I keep on looking over here. But hopefully you'll be looking at the cool backgrounds I'm going to have. I have some cool plans for that. So yeah, so they're going to meet with their family. I was nervous, of course. She's always been nervous, just because it's a new situation, but also because she knows that Jonadlar's family has some issues about the clan or about Neanderthals. They view them as less than human, which is kind of messed up. I don't want to really equate it with racism. Just because the modern racism that we experience today and are part of today is vastly different from anything that's happened before 500 years before now. So it's not the same. But some people equate it as that, and if you want to kind of take the morality tale of it like that, that's cool. But that's why I kind of have a hard time saying racism. But they have some feelings. They have some real messed up feelings about Neanderthals and about people that are mixed between humans and Neanderthals. They have very particular feelings about that, and Isla's very aware of this. So when they meet with their family, they had to tell them about Thonolin. Thonolin has died along the journey 4 years back, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a sad homecoming in that respect, but it's happy in other respects. I'm not going to get into all the drama, because that's one thing this book has, of a lot of like established relationship drama, whereas the other previous books didn't really have that. They had more fish out of water tales for all of them, because the first one, Isla, was, she was adopted by the clan. She was human, or Homo sapien, and the clan were Neanderthals. So it was like a whole new thing. It was like fish out of water for everybody, the reader, the character, everybody. So, the Valley of Horses, that one is much more, yeah, they're all pretty much on a journey meeting new people, or stationary alone dealing with animals. So there isn't really any relationship drama to get into, except for between Isla and Jonadlar, and somewhat with the Sharamadoi, but not really. It is what it is. And the fourth book, The Flames of I skipped the Momotoi, the Mammoth Hunters. That one was the fish out of water for the two of them as well. It was more the characters were fish out of water, so you had that. It was like, it just wasn't like they didn't have established foundations with any other characters. Whereas and let's go ahead to the 4th book, they're all on the journey. So they again didn't have any kind of established character, you know, history with the other characters, except for each other, which is also new. Whereas this book, Jonalar is going home. So Jonalar has all the lore, all the history, all the past shit, all the things that you have when you go into your hometown, Jonalar has. So Auel is getting into that, plus the Theseus system, the whole flathead thing. And flathead is a term that the Zelendani use to refer to Neanderthals, because their head is flatter than Homo sapiens. So they have that flathead thing where they don't really connect, and they view the children, the byproducts of like a human or a Homo sapien and a Neanderthal mating as like filth, like total filth. And it's like, it's gross. It's gross to them, and it's gross to read about. And if you do have the morality play, you know, racism with it, then yeah, it can kind of hit you like that. But I prefer not to see it as direct parallel to modern racism. That's just me. Because there is context, and context matters in this case. That being said, so Auel is all stressed about this, because she knows it all about this, about the family, and she's not met any of these people. She's brand new. She comes with 3 animals. She comes with 2 horses. She comes with Winnie, and she comes with Racer, and she comes with Wolf. So it's like, she brings all these brand new things. She has like new inventions. She has all this stuff. She has like hella like medical knowledge that, you know, is like blowing the first Zelendani's mind. Alright, the first Zelendani. Okay. So the way the Zelendani culture is like, they have a spiritual leader, and they have spiritual shaman type folks that are in each cave. Each group has one to kind of like help with like health matters and spiritual matters, and help, you know, keep the group together and this, that, and the other. But there's one like elected person that's kind of like over all of them, kind of like the prehistoric pope that's right now. It can be a man or a woman, but right now it's Zelendani first, who lives at the 9th cave, and who is also, this is the Zelendani first that Jonalar had that whole thing with when he was a teenager. So there's that. That's the first layer. That's the first drama. Jonalar's penis gets into a lot of trouble through the next 2 books. It's not as bad in this book, but the next book is pretty rough. It's pretty rough. So anyway, Zelendani has a lot of like healing knowledge, and she's like the pope. She's like the pope of this group, or the bishop, or whatever, the leader of this group spiritually. So she's even mind blown by the knowledge that Auel has. So it's like, she's bringing a lot to the table. So the meeting goes pretty well. It's kind of sad because, you know, Thanalin's passed, and they have to, you know, pass that information along. But after that, you know, there's a lot of like, there's a hunt after that, and then there's some time that goes past. They kind of get together and, you know, hang out and get to know each other. Yeah, pretty soon after that, there's actually a adoption. There's an adoption, yeah. I was adopted again, and technically she doesn't need to be adopted, but Jonalar feels like, you know, she should be Zelendani on her own, not just like Isla the Mamutoi married to Jonalar the Zelendani. He thinks that she should be like Zelendani, and she's always wanted to be Zelendani. She's always wanted it, so, you know, it's cool with her. A couple folks caused some trouble. They don't really like her, but it's more they don't like Jonalar, or they have their personal issues than anything else. So it's like she's adopted and there's no problem. So they go to the summer meeting. The summer meeting is kind of like a gathering of all the local groups together to, get together and like gather food and like meet and like socialize and marry each other or meet each other, visit family, all the things. It's like 2 months long, and that's like their meeting. It's every year. They go to the summer meeting. There's a joining, and there's a little drama with that because remember when I told you that there's a lot of speciesism in the situation. One of the people that's getting married is actually Jonalar's father's caves person. And Jonalar's father, he actually went and made his own cave, a while back. And he adopted, a half Neanderthal, half Homo sapien into his cave because he's cool with it. He's a cool guy. It causes issues. One person that really raises a lot of issues is Rukaval. Rukaval is actually a third Neanderthal, and there's a lot of complicated things, but he has a lot of self-hate and a lot of hate toward Neanderthals, and he refuses to be part of that, and he's disgusted by the idea of this person, this half animal, marrying this beautiful human woman. So he calls it a big thing, and a couple of people ride on his coattails, mainly Larimar. I'm sorry, I'm southern. Larimar. He causes an upraising because he wants to be higher ranked than Isla, because Isla is supposed to be low rank, and his family, and he's always been at the bottom rung. He wants somebody under him. So that's why he's causing a ruckus. And also, Marona. Friggin' Marona. Marona, who is Jonalar's ex, that he stood up at the altar before his journey. She's hot. She's pissed. She wants nothing to do with Isla. Anything that pisses Isla off, anything that hurts Isla, she's on it. So she jumps on the wagon too. So the whole thing, they have to have a separate meeting about it. Nothing's really resolved about it. That's going to come up in the next book. We're not going to touch on that. So after that, the summer meeting goes on, and they make some inroads for some folks that might be coming into the story later on. But after that, the summer meeting resolves, and they go back home. I didn't mention that Isla was pregnant. Isla is finally pregnant. She has stopped taking the little golden roots, the golden thread, that's been taking all her journeys for fucking years. She stopped it when she got off the glacier, and she's pregnant. She's gonna have a baby. She's happy about that. Everybody's happy about that. The wedding is blessed. Yeah. So yeah, they get back there, but when they get back, Jonalar has a surprise for Isla because Jonalar made a brand new dwelling for Isla. And you know what? And Jonalar gets props this book. This is the only book that I'm not absolutely annoyed with Jonalar. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back next book, trust me. But this book, he stood up. He did good. He made this without Isla knowing, and it's a big surprise. And now she has her own house with her mate, with Jonalar, with the person she loves, and her 2 horses, and her horse is pregnant. Winnie's pregnant. So Winnie's gonna have a little baby too. So it's like they're like Pony Girl sisters, and it is cute, very, very cute. And so she has her baby, but in the middle of giving birth, the first, Zelandani's first, the Pope, Isla tells Pope that she had a baby before, Dirk. Baby Dirk comes up, because it's kind of obvious that she's had a baby before, and it was a rough birth, and because, yeah, she knows. So yeah, but the verse doesn't say it. Verse keeps it to her chest, doesn't say anything to anybody, and that's going to come up later. But yeah, she has a baby. She has a little girl, Tanea, and yeah, it's cute. I'm happy for him. Very happy for him at this point. Yeah, after that, the baby's good, healthy. Then Winnie has a baby. Winnie has a little baby girl, a little foal, named Gray. And yeah, yeah. This book was happy. This book, I always enjoy this book. I actually ended up listening to this book like 3 or 4 times before doing this video again. So it was nice to revisit. The book closes out with the first having a little talk with Auel about joining the spiritual cult that kind of like, helps the thing called the Zelandani. It's kind of, the Zelandani is like, that's the people's name, but also the spiritual leaders are called Zelandani. They give up their name so that they're just Zelandani. So yeah, so they meet up, and they're talking, and the first is like, yo, if you want to keep practicing medicine, practicing with the herbs and helping people, you're going to have to be part of us. You're going to be part of the Zelandani. And I was like, no, I just want to be, I just want to live my life. I just want to be a wife and a mother and help people and live my life. I've had a really traumatic life. This is nice. I just want to do this. And Zelandani's like, you don't really have a choice. It's like, if you want to keep practicing medicine and keep on your journey and be safe, then you need to, join this cult, pretty much. So I was like not really happy about this, but she has a moment. She's like, she stands up to the first and like, all right, I see you. I hope you see me too. And then she walks away, and Zelandani's like, yep, okay, we'll see. And that's how the book ends. Thank you so much for listening so much. Yay! It took a while to get this out, but I'm glad I got it out. I enjoy the book, and I enjoy doing these videos. And I hope you enjoy the video. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Have a good day. Thank you.